Maybe some of you can't stand it, and that's fine, and we can have the conversation. But I have thoroughly enjoyed watching the Winter Olympics. Not because I do any of those sports. I've skied maybe half a dozen times in my life. I don't know how to curl. I can't skate. I can't do any of it.
Outside the 12-ounce curls.
Yeah,
right.
I'm very good at those.
There you go.
I can even do 16-ounces if I'm feeling,
Possibly Olympic team.
Yes,
Yeah.
I could do Olympic team curling if that's what we're talking about.
Oh, I remember the story you told about the missus, too.
Yes, absolutely.
She could be on the team.
Absolutely. On a good day. Back in the heyday. Those days are long gone. But I have thoroughly enjoyed watching these Olympics. I've enjoyed watching them with the girls. Whether it's a little bit before dinner, some after dinner, we have just kicked it.
Yeah.
We've enjoyed the figure skating. They've been into that. And last night we were watching American Amber Glenn in the free skate. She's from Plano, Texas, outside of Dallas. And the reason that I've so thoroughly enjoyed it is not just because I'm watching people do things that I can't fathom doing. Like my oldest, she said to me, "Boy, they make it look so easy." I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
Touché.
They're the best in the world. Dad would get out there on two skates and fall right on his rear end and not know how to get up. But it's because I'm watching my own kids celebrate America. That's what I'm doing. When Amber Glenn took over first place in the free skate, and I guess they're, combining skates, and then you get a point total, and, someone takes over first place or gets up to second place or whatever. When I see my own kids celebrate an American woman take over first place in the world, now she didn't win the gold, but when they see her jump in the first place and they get it and they celebrate an American on the world stage, potentially, at least for a moment in time, being the best in the world at something, that's awesome. There's nothing else I can do to duplicate that kind of enthusiasm. I can talk about American greatness, but when you're talking about 7 and 5-year-old kids, what does it really mean to them, right? What, am I going to break down U.S. and Iranian tensions along with Russia? They don't care. Mm-mm. But if at a very young age I can throw on the Olympics and grow some American pride in my own kids by having them watch figure skating, by having them watch alpine skiing, that's cool. And that, to me, it's not about, anything within the political arena. It's about appreciating and loving the country that they're in. And, they've asked me, it's funny because when you watch the world through the eyes of 7 and 5-year-olds and they start asking you questions, it makes you think to yourself, boy, all these things that you just assume and take for granted that they obviously don't know yet in life. Yeah. It's very fascinating to watch that and then comprehend it on your end. And when they say things like that, how do they get there? When do they start training for this? And you realize that these kids, and they're not kids, they're adults, but they've been training for these moments their whole lives since they're 10, 11, 12 years old. And now here they are, 18, 20, 25, whatever it might be. And they're having this amazing opportunity on the world stage to represent their country. That's awesome. All right? I mean, yes, some of them have gotten political, and that's been a mistake on their part. They're hurting themselves and their own brands, and they don't realize it. But those that aren't, those that are rah-rah America, that's what I love about this.
All singing the national anthem last night.
That's very cool.
Well, whenever they wanted, I saw it last night. Yeah.
That's what it's all about right there.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want to celebrate and see more of. And by the way, the ratings so far have been very good for the Olympics. I was looking this up last night. The early returns, not early anymore. We're almost done with the Olympics. But the ratings so far for these Olympics on NBC have doubled what it was during the Beijing Olympics 4 years ago. Now, the 2022 Winter Games were the least watched on record. So, we're doubling the least watched games, but still, doubling's a very good number from where we were just 4 years ago now. And I think people are looking for things like this. At a time when we don't have much that brings us together, heck, even the Super Bowl causes controversy these days because of the dopes that are running the operation and allowing Bad Bunny to be political. There's a handful of Olympians that have been political, but the vast majority have not been. And that's worth celebrating, too, in this moment, John.
It's sort of the boomer filter here, the geopolitics. We used to sit there and go, oh, let's beat Russia.
Yeah.
Let's beat East Germany, Czechoslovakia, the Eastern Bloc. And now it's let's punch Canada in the mouth.
Yeah.
Both the hockey teams, I'm like, yeah, I'm still rooting against another nation, but it's Canada now.
And we might as well enjoy it until they're the 51st state, right?
Touché.
I mean, it might be part of us pretty soon. No,
Touché.
tongue in cheek. But, yeah, I mean, that's to me, like, they're asking about these other countries. So they're like, oh, Switzerland, where's that? And then I pull out the map, and you're teaching them about the world. And there's all these things that I feel like I'm getting out of it and able to portray and help them understand in a fun way.
Absolutely.
And that's just great.
Excellent work.
I love that with little kids. And that's why I'm enjoying it. Now, I admit, if I was sitting there right now by myself, or Kate and I were sitting there without kids, I might flip it on. I might casually watch it. I might do a Mark Van Sickle 7-way parlay on curling just because I'm bored. But I wouldn't have the perspective that I have with little kids in the house watching this stuff. And if this is the thing that gets them to further appreciate the country they live in, what we have going on here, and how great this nation is, and how successful we are. And we're better at the summer games than the winter games, but still, how successful we are in many of these things, then you know what? Count me in. I won't complain one bit.
It's a great year for them to learn because we're ramping up to the 4th of July this year.
Yes, America 250, baby, right around the corner. 913-408-7957 is how you join us on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM, streaming on the KCMO Talk Radio app. On the text line, Pete, the Olympics is getting the Trump bump from patriotism. I don't know about that. I've heard plenty of people, who are obviously big Trump fans on social media being like, I can't stand the Olympics. I just vehemently disagree. I'm looking for reasons, and I think we all are right now, to escape, find some normalcy, a semblance of normalcy, and the Olympics can achieve that. And NBC does a very good job with its coverage and telling stories about these people and doing all that stuff in prime time that makes them elite at putting this product on television.
Some of the fun side things, too, like you see the goat climbing up the hill on the ski slopes. You see the dog chasing the cross-country skiers.
Yes.
It's like, some of that stuff is fun, too.
Yeah, that's right. I saw the dog somehow ended up in the cross-country ski race the other day. That's great content. Kids love that stuff. So I'm all in. I'm celebrating it. I'm enjoying it. And you know what? When it's over this weekend, I'll be bummed because then you got to wait 2.5 years for the Summer Olympics in 2028, which is going to be in Los Angeles. How about that? That'll be interesting. Yeah, I know. I see this on the text line. Pete, I'm annoyed at NBC promoting the Olympians, and they're promoting the Chinese girl who's a U.S. citizen but has a China flag on her jacket. Listen, I know. Kevin's obviously been all over that on Kevin Keatsman Uncanceled. And, yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that, and I kind of just ignore her. I don't know. I mean, I just kind of where I'm at. But whatever. It's doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my perspective. That's all it is. I'm not telling you shouldn't be mad or you shouldn't be upset. You're allowed to be. I'm just saying it doesn't. I don't sit here and get worked up about that, but there's things that I get worked up about that you may not get worked up about.
So there are thousands of stories here. Thousands of stories.
Trust me, we've all got our thing, man.
Dave Portnoy went off yesterday. I'll see if I can find the audio maybe, but he was talking about Alyssa Liu, Eileen Gu. I don't know who I'm talking about but go America.
Well, right now we find ourselves second in the medal count at 27. Norway is leading the way at 34. All right. And Italy is number 3 at 26. I've been impressed by Italy. I didn't really think they had that kind of Winter Olympian talent in that country, especially as they have like the worst birth rate in the West right now. I mean, in a generation.
Home field advantage, Pete.
I that's what I wonder because I just didn't know they had that kind of talent, to be honest. But they're number 3 in the medal count right now, so good for them.